So you're going to need two different bills, obviously one low, one high. It doesn't matter what they are, because if you are familiar with the original Hancock effect, it really only worked with an American one. In this case, you really can use any two bills. It can be international. The only two things that you need to be aware of is that they really do need to be the same size and they need to be foldable. Okay, so like the polymer notes, it might be difficult. Besides that, you can be ready to go. Let's start with the big bill first because the folding is a lot simpler. You're going to fold the president on the outside and then fold it in half again. It really doesn't matter which way you do it, but I like the numbers on one side and the president's face on the other side because there's one display where you can show half and half of both, and I think that's the best way to show both parts. So,
can you show that fold again?
Yep. So you're going to fold with the president on the outside and then fold it in half one more time. And you are ready to go with this bill. We're going to go on to the smaller bill now. The smaller bill is basically, you're going to pre-fold it in the Hancock fold position. And this is what it looks like. You're going to fold the president on the outside. So, you're going to fold it in half with Washington on the outside. Fold it in half again with the United States on the inside. Unfold it, but only unfold one layer. So that way it's kind of like an S now. So it looks like it's unfolded like this, but it's actually only unfolded one layer. Now you're going to refold it, but up this time. So you're not actually going to fold it inside. You're actually going to fold it outside so you have an external pocket. And once you have the external pocket, now you have a thin side and a thick side. You're going to fold the thin side back. So it's into eighths and turn everything over. Now you're going to reach your left thumb in and unfold everything. And when you do that, you'll notice that it actually makes a little triangle shape. When you make the triangle shape, you're going to crease those parts down, so you actually have the triangle. And that's when you have all the creases. You can just go over them one more time, and then you can unfold everything. Okay? So now you have both bills that are pre-folded, so you can get into the Hancock change. So now that you have your 1 and your 100, before I go into the change, I'm going to show you how to store this so you can get into it anytime, anywhere. So you're going to put the 100 in the second crease, the second quadrant here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I always, when I'm performing, I always have the E facing up, and that means my triangle crease that I just made for the Hancock fold is facing to the right. I'm going to put my $100 bill folded up here, and I'm going to fold this one down along the crease, and then fold up, and then around. Now this is going to go straight into my wallet. I usually put it in one of the credit card slot holders, and now I can just take it all out, and I'm ready to go whenever I need to. So now that we're ready to go, we're actually going to flip over to an over-the-shoulder view so you can see exactly how to make this work. So you're going to take out your packet, and you're going to unfold one, unfold the second one up, and then you're just going to put your thumb right here. Because of the way it's folded, you're always going to have a little lip here. So you can just unfold here, and you have your 100 now that you can peel off and into finger palm. Remember, I'm doing this left-handed. If you want to reverse it, you can, if you're right-handed, but remember, don't just reverse some things. If you're going to do it right-handed, reverse everything. So if you're doing it right-handed, you are going to want to make sure that you fold everything in reverse too, and then you can go into your right hand. But remember, it's not really hand-specific, so it's really not much to finger palm and left hand. I finger palm and right hand all the time, I promise. You'll be okay. Okay? So now I can hand this out and show everybody. Okay? This is completely examinable. Right? When it comes back, remember, I always keep the E facing up top. Now I come over with my $100, and you'll notice that I use my thumb to bend it back. There's no folds, there's no creases, you just bend it back, and then I put it back on top. So I bring it back, bend, and put it on top. Now, I fold it in half, and as I do that, my thumb is going to slide this up perfectly into position. How do you make sure it's perfect? As I fold it, I put my non-dominant hand finger across the top, and that's going to act as a stopper. So I can keep it as perfect as I can. It doesn't have to be truly perfect, 100% perfect, because you're going to have some time to make micro adjustments if you need to. Okay? And no one's really looking at this point anyway, it's all in the offbeat. So you come up, put it up thusly, so it's as perfect as possible. What's really nice now is that you have this really beautiful display. You can show front and back and nothing in between the fingers, nothing in the hands, so it's a really nice fair display. Now I'm going to come back. Remember, the audience is this way. I'm going to come back and I'm going to fold in slightly. I'm just going to bend it this way. That's going to kind of activate that Hancock fold that we already did. So this is a really neat moment because it looks like you do nothing from the front. But from the back, I'm going to take my non-dominant thumb and fold the bill this way. But because it was already pre-folded, it's going to go into that triangular fold like this, exposing the $100 bill. Now from the front, it's not going to look like anything is happening. From the front, it looks like you're just adjusting the bill, but you are going into this position.
Kind of like Joe Dirt.
Kind of like Joe Dirt. Thank you, camera person.
You're welcome.
Now, at this point, was that a business in the front, party in the back thing?
Sure was.
Oh, jeez. Now, I'm going to fold everything around this way, but obviously you don't want to fold it this way because then you are going to expose what you don't want to expose yet. So I'm just going to lift my fingers out as this folds in front. Remember, spectators are this way, they're looking here. And for the moment when the bill becomes exposed to their view, these fingers are obscuring it. And I come back and I hold. And it looks like you just folded in quarters, but you're really in this position. So now I'm in this position, and it's really cool because you can still show the border up top and still cover with two fingers the top part. And because the folding procedure looks so direct and natural, there's no reason to think that this isn't a full quarter of a bill. So now it's all pantomime because you just rub it. And I like to go down in angles. Don't just go up and down. Go down in angles so it looks like, stop laughing. And you just go up and down like this until you get to the halfway point. You can feel it. It's a tactile thing. Now, when you get to this point, you're going to want to unfold this back down for two reasons. One, it's going to be easier to ditch, but two, it's going to get you into a really cool display. So I show half, but now I keep my non-dominant finger along the seam as I bend back as if I'm just, massaging the fibers of it. And now I'm going to put my thumb in to the triangle and just bend it back down. And now this thumb completes the fold as I'm just kind of massaging it here. And as I do this, now I can bring my fingers here, and I've got this really cool display because I can show half and half on one side and half on the other side, keeping your fingers right along that intersecting seam, which is really cool. Now what's really neat is now, at this point, now you can finish up the change. I like to finish it in the traditional Hancock way, which is my fingers of my dominant hand, thumb and middle finger, are just going to pull down on the non-open side. This is the open side, non-open side. You're just going to pull it down like this. So it's never going to fully unflap. It's just going to fold down like this. You're going to pinch and pull it down. That's the method. Now, I'm going to pull over this way and swing my hand this way so it's covering, and I'm going to anchor my hand above where I'm going to be doing the method. And now, when I do this, my hand is covering. And so the method's already done, but now I can use this hand to do the magic and finish the change. So altogether, it'll look like this. 1, 2, come over, anchor, do the method, now do the magic. And now, it looks like it's done. I still have this position to clean up, so the really easy way to clean it up is I come over with my non-dominant hand, and I just pull back the non-flared edges right here, and I insert my finger, and now as I come over with my dominant fingers, this is going to want to pop back open as I grab this and unfold everything. So now it's another really neat display. But from the back, I have it back in this position here. So what do you do now? I come over, I unfold while keeping this back here. From this point, I'm just going to push the thick side of the bill, and it's going to want to fold back in eighths, and then I put this into finger palm and show the $100 bill, hand it out for examination. That's the Hancock change. All right, so this is going to be an annotated walkthrough. You're going to unfold down, unfold up, unfold, put this into finger palm, hand it out for examination. Make sure it comes back with the E up top. Load this back behind, fold it up, load it up as nicely as you can, show both with nothing between the fingers. Now, I'm going to lean it back just a little bit as I fold into this position, bring it back up front, and now I go into the miming portion. I can go up and down. When I get to about halfway, that's when I go back, up front, fold this down. I can show my display now, front and back on both sides, half and half. And now this swings up, this goes down, and I can show the 100, come over, show this way, unfold everything, clean it up into eighths, go into finger palm, and now you've just done a Hancock change. Now from the front, annotated walkthrough, you open it up, palm it off, give everything for examination, load it back on, fold it up, line it up, show both sides, do the fold, which doesn't look like anything from the front, fold it again, but your fingers are going to cover the top. You can show the border up top before you show. Then you start to massage it till about halfway down. You can go up and down around that intersecting piece, so it looks like it's just morphing. Now I put my thumb back, fold the flap back down. Now I can go into the display to show both sides. And now I swing this up as I go down. Now I open up, show the full $100 bill, fold it back up into eighths, finger palm, and hand it off for examination.